He's done it again, Jackson Merrill. Unbelievable as the Padres walk off the Mets, salvage a split, just a crucial split for the Padres. It was a two-game swing in the wild card standings. The Padres come from behind again, and they just steal a game from New York is what they did. 2 runs on the Profar shot, and then it was Jackson Merrill in the ninth off Edwin Diaz. And what Jackson Merrill's doing this year is basically unprecedented, really, in baseball history by a player 21 years of age or younger. So make your way in. We are here for you with a Sunday night edition of the wrap-up show. There's going to be hundreds of people live, thousands of people on replay. If this is your first time to the channel, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. We're on our way to 7,000 subscribers with your help, so please subscribe. Smash the like button for us. We need 400 plus likes here tonight, so please smash the like button for us. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We'll get to every super chat here tonight. Great way to support our work. Click the $ below the chat box. You want to control the direction of the conversation. You just want to say hello. You want to have your super chat on the screen. Click the $ below the chat box. If you want to become a member, click join. But this thing was epic, kind of left for dead, seemingly. Using the A team with their bullpen, trying to chase down a game. They get even in the eighth. They win it in the ninth, and they get a split from the Mets. It's a 4-3 homestand, which feels a lot better than a 3-4 homestand if they would have lost here today.
And credit to Schilts, he went for it today, knowing that they're still in the midst of an 18-game stretch, and it worked out for him. Like, it paid off. It's not always going to pay off, but he went for it. He thought that they could get a couple runs across the board, and he put out his A team bullpen today to keep it at 2. Well, keep it at 1, but then Jason Adam gave up that home run, so then it's 2-0. But he still used Scott. He used Suarez in the ninth, and did he use Suarez in the ninth? The ball was bottom.
Yeah, he did. I mean, a little different than the other day because he trailed by 2 in the ninth inning. In this game, he trailed by 1 all game long. And went to his bullpen, even trailed by 2 in the 8th inning, not the ninth inning. And he actually said post-game, I can't do this.
No.
I can't always do this, but I felt like today was a day to try to go chase it down.
And he used Suarez in the ninth when it was tied after the Profar 2-run home run. And, I mean, where would this team's 2 most important players are Jackson Merrill and Jurickson Profar, not even close. And to think at the beginning of the year, and I saw this tweet from Cespedes Barbecue, and they made a great point. It was like the 2 most important Padres players, one of them got released from the Rockies last year. Padres did pick him up. But he signed a 1-year, $1 million deal in the offseason. And then Jackson Merrill is a 20-year-old rookie playing a completely different position, and there's a lot of question marks around, can this guy actually play center field, and is he going to produce the big league level? And they've been easily, far and away, not even close to the 2 most important Padre players on this team this year. Not even close.
Yeah, position player wise, definitely. I mean, there's no question about it. It's not Manny, it's not Xander, it's Jackson Merrill, and it's Jurickson Profar. Depending on the time of year, each has had their kind of runs, and collectively, they've put it together. But there's no question. I mean, Profar gets you even. At that point, you feel like you're going to win the game. And then it's kind of easy to be like, Jackson Merrill's going to do it again. He's so clutch. I mean, the stat from Sarah Langs, the MLB researcher, is so incredible. The only 21-year-old in the history of baseball, 21 or younger, to have 5 go-ahead or game-tying home runs in the 9th inning or later in a season. In the history of baseball, nobody's ever had 5 or more go-ahead or game-tying home runs in the 9th inning or later, 21 years or younger. It's Jackson Merrill. He is him. He has somehow been able to put that season together, and he will be the National League's Rookie of the Year. I truly do believe that. That's a whole nother conversation, but I do believe when it's all said and done, he will be the National League's Rookie of the Year. And Pittsburgh even saying within the last 24 hours that they're going to limit the innings of Paul Skeens from here until the end of the season, essentially.
Yeah, if now at this point in time, if Jackson Merrill doesn't win Rookie of the Year, then we will all riot. It will be a complete sham if he doesn't win Rookie of the Year. He has earned it. He deserves it. And he should win it for sure. I mean, Paul Skeens has been fantastic. Paul Skeens is great. He is the cornerstone of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hell, he probably will win a Cy Young in his career if he stays healthy. Multiple-time All-Star. He is the next big thing when it comes to pitching. Jackson Merrill has been better this season overall. Jackson Merrill is an all-star himself, but he might not be the best player in the league. That's fine, but he's one of the most clutch players in the league. He has put himself on the map with all of these clutch hits, and when you do it against a New York team, it just gets amplified, right? And he's done it on national television. He's done it against two of the best closers in baseball for the A's and the Mets. He's, coming up in big moment after big moment after big moment, and his numbers say that he deserves to be rookie of the year. And I mean, it just kind of just cements more of our points that we keep talking about. Like, hey, cornerstone of the franchise. This guy's a guy you build around. His attitude, everything he talks about after the game is exactly what this team embodies and what I think this franchise wants to be about. And he is just a godsend gift from the baseball gods to be here in San Diego for all of us to watch.
Lock them up long term. I don't think you can overstate the importance of winning this game. If the Mets hold on to this lead, they have chances for many more than 2 runs in this game, by the way. If the Mets just win this game with their good bullpen, and they've been playing relatively well, there's 3.5 games of separation between the Padres and the Mets. It's
Right.
wide open. I mean, you've completely opened the door in that scenario where with over a month to play, there's no possible way you feel good about where you are in these standings. But one win is worth 2 games when it's head to head. And now they're 5.5 games clear of a playoff spot, which again isn't a guarantee. I would say in August, it'll feel a lot better in the middle of September, but 5.5 games better than the Mets. 3 games up on the last wild card. Now, Arizona continues to be red hot. Arizona's now 75-56. Padres have 2 more losses and 1 less win, so they're a game and a half behind. But again, the difference here between winning and losing, it cannot be overstated, because if this would have been a Sunday night wrap-up show where they lost 3 out of 4, I would have been telling you that the door's completely open. The Padres have squandered an opportunity, and it's going to be hard to just quote unquote hold on to a 3.5 game lead. But it's not 3.5 games right now. It's 5.5 games because of Profar and Merrill and that bullpen.
Like what Profar and Merrill did today, let all of us and everyone in the chat, everyone watching, all Padres fans kind of have a little bit of a sigh of relief. Like, it's still going to be a crazy race. You're absolutely right, John. But just for a moment, everybody got to take a deep breath and be like, okay, we're okay for right. Like, we're okay,
Yeah, definitely.
And dude, when Profar hit the home run, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that they were winning this game, right?
They seemingly win those games. That's happened at like 90% of the time when they do that. It seems like it's happened 10 or 15 times, and it seems like they're winning 90% of those games.
They are, to me, hell, I wouldn't want to face them in the postseason because of how confident they are in those situations. And those teams are the scariest to me. The teams that go through these situations all the time. Now, we said, look, you can't make a living off of comebacks. Well, they're saying, yeah, watch us. like watch. Well, guess what? We actually are. And that type of DNA for a team in a postseason series, dude, so scary if you're the opposing team.
It is. It's scary because the sky is the limit, but it's also scary because in any one game, trailing 2-0 in the 8th inning, you may not win it. Even though they've won it so many times, in any one game, there's no guarantee that you're going to do what you did here today against the New York Mets. But I'm with you. I mean, they're not out of games. They are scary. I think the National League right now is scary. I think the Dodgers, I think the Diamondbacks, I think Atlanta's played better. I think the National League's got 3-4 legitimate
Philly's still
contenders
there,
at least.
Brewers.
Yeah, Phillies have fallen awful. I mean, no, they're still 6 games up, but they've fallen off from they had that record pace the first half of the year.
Yeah.
Let's get to the first super of the night, guys. If you're here, please subscribe. Here on Content for Padres fans, we'd love to get to 7,000 subscribers with your help.
Close.
A huge win at Petco. What's that?
Said we're very close on our quest to 6,900 subs. We are 30 away. And come on, guys. We would if you're watching us, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's get us to 7,000 subs.
Year-round content for Padres fans in season, out of season. This is the best time of year, coming up on September in less than a week. Padres Payne, thank you for the super chat. We're going to get to every single super chat here tonight. We do appreciate your support of the channel. Click the $ below the chat box like Padres Payne did. And he says, Hoeing proving to be an incredible pickup. He really has been. In that Tanner Scott deal, game-saving strikeout of Lindor in the fourth. Yeah, with the bases loaded, that was huge. Adam allowed first runs of Padre, but in 11 innings pitched. I'll take it. Yeah, everything they've done, dude. Martin Perez, they're 5-0 in his starts. I know this wasn't good, but they're 5-0 in his starts. Hoeing's been great. Tanner Scott, Jason Adam. There have been some really savvy pickups by AJ Preller along the way, including at the trade deadline. They've all seemingly paid off to this point.
Every move he's made. I said it a couple weeks ago. He's the executive of the year. He, for this season, every move he's made has been a positive move. And every button he's pressing right now has worked. Everyone. And credit to Preller this season. I've had my opinions on him in the past, but he's still here and he's absolutely gotten it done this season in a pretty much make or break year for him, to be honest with you. So credit to him.
To this point, he has made.
Oh, yeah, he has.
At 74 and 58. So that means they have 30 games remaining. 30 games remaining. 15 and 15 is 89 wins, which they did in 2022. 16 and 14 or better is the first 91 season for the Padres in forever and under AJ Preller. But that's what you're looking at. 15 and 15, you're in the postseason, obviously, because how are the Mets overcoming 5.5 games? If you go 15 and 15, are they going to go like 21 and 8? No. Going to Arizona, I think right now they're not going 21 and 8 or whatever they'd need to go. So, 15 and 15, you're in the postseason, let alone Atlanta would have to play, past you as well. So that's what it's going to take. It's going to take something like 14 wins, 13 wins, in my opinion, to get this team to the postseason in their last 30. I hope they play better than that. I hope they challenge Arizona. I hope they challenge the Dodgers. I tweeted out last night, I said the division might be premature. I still feel like that. It's 4.5 games. You're heading towards September. The Dodgers have played really well here in the second half of August. It's not over. Don't get me wrong. It's not over. But I'm more worried about series to series now, and these are tough series. St. Louis, Tampa Bay, everything that's to come. I'm more thinking about where they are than catching the Dodgers as we sit here at this exact moment.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world if you don't win the division here. Last week, it's been, I think last week, where I said, hey, the eye is on, you're close enough. The eye is on the division. Play as good as baseball as you possibly can. See where you are at, the crucial points of the season. Like, hey, where are you at on September 1? Are you a couple games back or are you 5 or 6 games back? If you're a couple of games back, you're going for the division. And then it makes the end of the year versus the Dodgers, that series, just that more crucial and important. But, if the Dodgers happen to pull away with this thing and win this division by 5 or 6 games, it's not the end of the world, because we know that the main goal this whole time, no matter what, is just get into the postseason and play your best baseball down the stretch. So as of right now, nothing's changed. A little bummer that the Dodgers have kind of pulled away a little bit. It's not crazy, but just a little bit, just because they're playing really good. All in all, just keep playing good baseball, Padres, and wherever the chips fall, they fall, and it's not the end of the world.
Let's get to this from SJL Stevens. Appreciate you, my friend. Really do. He was, by the way, the one that bought us drinks on Friday at the Natty Barrel. So thank you, SJL Stevens.
Thank you
for the drinks. They were very good. I had a kombucha. Jim had a margarita. So thank you. Great to see you, and appreciate you doing it. He says, next week will be very interesting with Arizona's schedule. It's an off day Monday for the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Then the Diamondbacks host the Mets, host the Dodgers. Yes. Host the Mets, host the Dodgers for 4. I would say this is how I'm looking at Dodgers Diamondbacks. You can't lose. As in, you're winning either way as long as you play decently. I'm not going to, the Dodgers have to win these or the Diamondbacks have to win these. There's 4 losses in there. I know that. Between the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, there's 4 losses in there. So go 3-1 over those 4 days, which is probably easier said than done. You'll be in Tampa and I don't know where you are on the other side, but that's how I look at it. I can't predict what's going to happen in those 4 games, but I know there's 4 losses. So if the Padres can win 3 times, there's gaining a lot of games potentially somewhere.
Yeah, just take care of business. Take care of business. You're going on a 7-game roadie right now through
Yep.
St. Louis and
Tampa.
Tampa. Just take care of business. Have a good road trip. I mean, you've been a really good road team, and I think they're 37-26 on the road.
Is that what it is? It's darn good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they are on the road. So just
Yep.
continue to play good baseball on the road. It's a homecoming tomorrow with Schilts back in St. Louis, and see where things are in a week. You know, like you're at the point of your season where just 1 week changes and could change everything. So we could sit here right now and be like, yeah, division, okay. Well, just continue to play good baseball and postseason's a goal, stay healthy, play best baseball. In a week's time, it could be completely different. If you just take care of your business. And I think this week was it was tough for them. Now, granted, like without today's win, it's not the best homestand, but they took care of business versus Twins. They got a split versus the Mets, and it wasn't the end of the world. You had a 4-3 homestand after the losing 2 or 3 to the Rockies, and you move on. It's nothing to be upset about. And frankly, today's win, like, it's going to energize this team, I think, and they're going back on the road, and I think they love Schilts so much that they're going to want to make sure that they give him like a bunch of wins here in St. Louis. I just feel that way.
I feel the same way. Oh, so it's an 18-game stretch, right, of playing every day. They're 5-5 over the 18 games, but they put themselves in such a good spot with the 19-3 that they can do this. I just told you they can do this. They go 15-15 that they're in. Also consider this. St. Louis isn't dead, but they're on life support. So they're 8 games behind the Padres. They're 5 games out of a playoff spot. By winning a game there, they would still be 6 games behind San Diego specifically with 26 games to play. By winning 2 games there, they have no chance of catching you. Zip, zero, zilch. If you win 2 games in St. Louis, I can make an argument you win 1 game in St. Louis, they're not going to catch you. But go split that series or better is the way I see it. I'm with you. Behind Mike Schilt, maybe they play better. But I think I'll say the same thing about the road trip as I said about the homestand. I would have taken a 4-3 homestand. That's what we got. And I would take a 4-3 road trip right here because I don't think it's the easiest road trip. I just don't. Tampa has been pesky. St. Louis on the road is never easy, I would say, even though they've really fallen off. And I would take the 4-3 road trip because I think it's hard to ask for a 5-2 trip or better. And I think 4-3, you're still in decent shape. I mean, 5-2 is ideal, but I think 4-3 you would take. Let's get to the
and you'd be 17 games over 500 coming back home after your
4-3.
Yeah.
Yep, 16 over right now. HBBBV, thank you, man, for the super chat. Appreciate you. He says, I hope Merrill stays humble and hungry after getting paid. Yeah, I mean, it's always the question with any athlete, but there's no reason, of all athletes I've ever witnessed, there's no reason to believe that money will have any impact on this guy's play in any capacity at all.
Like, unless he is just fooling everybody with what he says, then I'm 100% with you, John. This guy just is different. Yeah. Like everything he says, he backs it up. And when he does go out there and have game-winning hits and game-winning home runs and clutch, game-tying home runs and make great defensive plays and, do all these amazing things, at the end of the day, every single time in that clubhouse, it is the most humble guy. It's about the team, all about the team. I just want to win. I don't care. I just want to win. And like, dude, I bet you that that front office, John, every time that there's a discussion about Jackson Merrill, they are just through the roof about it because they hit.
How can you not be?
They hit in such a massive way that they have not been able to do with their drafts here in San Diego. And there is a part of them not having any draft picks in the first round developed and come up through the system and perform here, that it kind of felt like their mindset is like, well, we've drafted a lot of talent that has created trades to bring other talent here. But at the end of the day, those scouting departments, they want to have wins under their belt with guys that play for your team, not for other teams.
Yeah, they do. And they also, the reason they're hyping it up like this right now, and you're seeing it like on social media, is they're going to get a draft pick out of this. I mean, this is actually really significant if he wins Rookie of the Year. You're getting like a pick between 30 and 35 if he wins Rookie of the Year. Remember, they drafted him 27th. If you pick 31st, then you're picking a player that's comparable than like a Jackson Merrill in terms of where he's slotted.
Right.
So there's a lot of value potentially in picking up Rookie of the Year, not just for Jackson Merrill, but for the San Diego Padres. Back to the Super Chats. Guys, if you're here, let's get to 6,900 subscribers with your help. I think Jim said just a few moments ago we were 30 away. So let's get 30 subs, whether you're here live or on replay. Please subscribe. Year-on content for Padres fans. And thank you for the Super Chats, whether you're here live or on replay. We appreciate the super thanks as well for those of you on replay. But thank you, Ben. Loyal, longtime viewer. He says he's been critical of AJ, but what he and the front office, the Erics and the organization have done for the 24 season, weathering the storm of death, to Peter Seidler, massive budget cuts, no doubt, high-profile injuries, yes, has the feel of an ESPN 30 for 30. I kind of love that. Yeah, it's been a really remarkable story, I would say, to this point, the 2024 Padres. I don't think a lot of people gave them a shot to be a legitimate World Series contender. I feel like it's fair to call them a legitimate World Series contender as we sit here today. I think there's a number of teams that probably are. But yeah, I think they're exceeding expectations, and I think a lot of people would agree with me.
Oh, for sure. I think there was a lot of doubt going into this season for this franchise with a completely new manager, with a lot of new faces. I mean, your outfield at the start of the year was a rookie that you had no idea about. It was Jerks and Profar on a 1-year, $1 million deal, and it was Fernando Tatis Jr. That was it.
Yep.
So, and the pitching staff and the losses that you had, we didn't know Michael King was going to be this good. We thought King was going to, help Kyle Gashioka. He's outperformed all expectations. I really do think that if there was any year for this team to push through and win their first World Series, why not this season? This season, as Ben just said there, it feels like a 30 for 30. Things are setting up the way that this team has a million walk-offs and come from behind victories, and the all-star rookie and the veterans and, just everything about it. And then also playing for your owner who passed away in the offseason and doing it for him. It just feels like if there's ever going to be a year where this team pushes through and finally knocks down the wall and wins their first World Series, like, why not this year? It's Storybook, really, if they do it.
Amen. All you got to do now is, potentially win 4 postseason series. But I mean, listen, crazier things that have been done. They're playing among the best baseball in the league, even with the 5-5 here recently. Just look at their second half. I mean, their second half is up there with anyone other than Arizona. Maybe Arizona's now a game better than San Diego in the second half, but the Padres are right there, and they're getting healthier. And we're going to talk about that on the other side. Darvish through today, spoke to the media. Fernando Tatis Jr. spoke to the media on Friday, said he'll be back next month. We're going to talk about that in a moment. We do want to remind you about our title sponsor here on the Wrap-Up Show. Can't do it without everyone here live or on replay. Can't do it without Mark Nimitz either. Title sponsor of the Wrap-Up Show since day one. Maybe it's your first time here. Maybe you've been with us since day one or somewhere in between. If you have any insurance need, get in contact with Mark. I've got homeowners, life insurance, earthquake insurance through Mark. You can as well. He's going to save you time and money. He could save you $750 or more just by switching your insurance. He's a great insurance agent. How do I know? I've done business with him for 4 years. Plus, I had to file a claim in 2022, and he saved us thousands of dollars and so much time. So if you support the channel, support a native San Diegan, a lifelong Padres fan, click the link in the description down below. Get free quotes online or by calling Mark. He'll talk to you about the surging Padres as well. And thank you for your support of our title sponsor.
All his information is on that ticker below, and Nimitz at farmersagent.com. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim, the Wrap-Up Show, sent you. I want to get to this question here because we've talked about it a lot. From Slew Isaku. Says, hey, guys, should Merrill be at the 3 spot of the lineup? No, he shouldn't. Keep him where he's at.
It's just too easy to keep him where he is. He's just been too good. So you
Yep.
don't mess with something that's working.
Nope.
He's got an 807 OPS for the year. He's been clutch all year, and they haven't really moved him up by and large. By and large, has been a day or two they have, but by and large, they haven't moved him up. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I think is the saying. So you're in September now. Why would you change anything?
Yeah, you are not changing anything. If anything, when Tatis gets back, he's going to be slotted in like the 2 spot potentially. I don't know where they're going to slot him. Now, it's going to
Yeah.
move a lot of people down, but
Yep.
dude, you keep him where he's at. You don't touch it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You don't move him up at all. Said that earlier in the season when there was discussions of the same thing, moving him to the leadoff spot or hitting second or whatever. Like, no, not this year. Future, yeah. This year, no. Just keep him where he's at. And
Completely
they will.
agree.
And they will. They're not moving him.
Not at this point. It would take something drastic. I don't forecast it either. I guess you never say never, but I don't forecast it either. You Darvish threw to college hitters today. I listened to his post game or I don't know post throwing conversation with the media with his translator, and he threw to college kids. He was asked where he found those college kids, but it was either college kids or high school kids. But he threw a lot of pitches today. And he said his next time he throws, he wants to get through 4 innings, and he doesn't know where that's going to be, whether it's in a rehab start or in Arizona. I think the point is this: he's getting closer to returning to the Padres. I'd be shocked if it was more than 2 weeks away. I think it's less than 2 weeks away for you, Darvish. And that's the same thing with Fernando Tatis Jr. I think he's getting closer to returning. He spoke to the media. He said he will be back next month. When he spoke on Friday, he was talking about returning in September. So you got this team that's played well, obviously, 16 games over 500. That is potentially days away, certainly not more than 2 weeks away. It doesn't feel like getting guys like you, Darvish, and Fernando Tatis Jr. back. Huge additions, theoretically, each alone are huge additions, and both are coming back sooner rather than later for the Padres. Joe Musgrove is already here, and pretty soon you got the whole band together, essentially.
You really do. I mean, did you hear the way that Schilts gushed over Darvish today's like sim game?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. He'll be back soon. He's going to help this team. I don't know how many starts he's going to make, but he'll be back soon. Tatis will, as he said, 100% be back. And everything is pointing in the right direction. Knock on wood. Everything is pointing in the right direction where this team it's like final form, right? They're getting there to where they have everybody that they need back.
Kimmy too, because listen,
Yes.
everyone loves Mason McCoy, but Hassan Kim,
It's
4-year
like Derek
starter.
Jeter 2.0.
Yeah, Hassan Kim's a 4-year starter, so he's going to play, and he's eligible to come off. I don't know, in 2 to 4 days, 3 to 5 days, soon.
He'll be back. Mason
He'll be
McCoy's been
back.
nice though.
Yeah,
Give it up for Mason McCoy a little bit.
Okay, but again,
He's
I think in stretch run, maybe the postseason. I'm not sure if Mason McCoy is exactly where I'm turning, but
he hasn't been a complete waste of an at bat like Tyler Wade. No disrespect. He's actually put together some nice at bats, gotten on base, got some walks, got some hits, played fine defense. Like, give it up, man. While Kimmy's out, good job.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for him because when Kim gets activated, we're not going to see him again.
Right, because they're not Tyler Wade,
but
they can't send him down.
Yeah, while he's been called upon, he's definitely filled the role, which is exactly what the Padres were hoping for. So again, to your point, you're getting healthier because Kimmy's going to be back any day, Tatis or Darvish any week. I mean, the Joe Musgrove thing is obviously, it's been a huge talking point of the last month to get Joe Musgrove back and pitching the way he's pitched in these first 3 outings. That was Friday night, right? We talked about it Friday night, the way he pitched. So Musgrove's a big part of this. Again, it goes back to the conversation we've had a lot. We'll talk about over the next 35 days. Who starts when you're in the postseason? We'll talk about it, I guess, when they're in the postseason. And maybe it's determined on what happens over the last month. But these are good problems because they got a lot of potential options for a 3-game series if they are in a 3-game series.
You just sit here and go, wait a second. A team that is on the way to the postseason, the Padres, they're getting healthier as the season goes on.
Yeah. Oppo 2021.
Like Oppo forever. Like they're at least for the last decade plus with, they're getting players that are coming back instead of losing guys, and they're becoming what we all thought they could be with a fully healthy roster, which is just, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, even like I love looking up Machado from that day in Philly until today, and I can't do it right now because I don't have today's stats in Baseball Reference, but he's 2 for 3 today. I mean, guy's got an over 900 OPS since that Phillies game. I know that. It's probably like 920. He's just a few home runs shy of setting the franchise record. We've talked about that. But Machado's been a constant, is my point. Yeah, Profar and Merrill have gotten the headlines, rightfully so. They've been clutcher. They've been more dramatic. They've come through in bigger spots, in my opinion. I think in most people's opinions. But Machado and Bogarts, isn't that interesting? They're the unsung players right now. Machado and Bogarts are more unsung than Merrill and Profar. But I'm telling you, Machado and Bogarts have just consistently chugged along here for weeks on end, doing some of the work that's necessary to maintain consistency. Again, have they had the clutchest hits? I don't know. We could discuss it. I'm sure they have at times. Who's been clutcher, Profar and Merrill, than Machado and Bogarts? But Machado and Bogarts have been great, man. They really have.
Yeah, Machado and Bogarts have been really, really good in the second half, and since Bogey came back, and since that day in Philadelphia with Manny, they've been very solid. And they've had some obviously big moments. There's no doubt about it, for sure. It's just Jackson and Profar. They've led the way this entire time. I mean, it was Profar for the first half of the year. Jackson was a very solid player, right? He was getting it done. Hell, I mean, got it done enough to make him an all-star. But now he's turned into the best center fielder in the National League, John, and it's like not really close. Name me a better center fielder in the National League. I'll wait.
Right. I mean, again, if it wasn't for something like Shohei Otani, maybe he would be in the MVP conversation, truthfully. I mean,
Well,
he's probably top 10 MVP player in the National League would be my guess. He'll get votes. I know that.
he'll definitely get votes. Profar to me is a top 5. Jackson's like a top
15
10 to 12, 13 range.
Probably.
And he is the rookie of the year. So, and he might win a Gold Glove too. Like, he's played pretty solid defense in center. I mean, like we've talked about a lot. When's the last time that he misplayed a ball or looked outmatched out there and like he didn't know what he was doing? Like, never.
I know. It'd be nice to have a center field Gold Glover. That'd be nice, right? That's what they were missing.
It really was, yeah.
Let's get to this from the Fiery Friar. Thank you, man, for the super chat, guys. If you're here, subscribe here on Content for Padres fans. We're getting close to 6,900. Nice. With your help, about 26 away, I think. So please subscribe here on Content for Padres fans. And thank you guys for the super chats. Just click the $ below the chat box, like the Fiery Friar, who says, went to the game and waited for team to board the bus. Awesome.
Nice.
Merrill showed so much love for the fans, signed autographs for a solid 5 minutes. Respect. Dude, can you imagine being 21 and living through this?
Dude,
all of it, what it entails, performing, but also playing in front. Even I was listening to the Mets post game. Their manager, even Edwin Diaz, he's like, these atmospheres are ridiculous. I'm watching Sunday Night Baseball in Baltimore. The upper deck's closed. The upper deck's closed. Sunday Night Baseball in Baltimore against Houston is red hot. Nobody cares. No big deal. 4 straight games, 45,000 people against the New York Mets. Their manager's like, this is a postseason series. Like, this team's legit. This fan base, this stadium, it's ridiculous. Like, that's the New York Mets saying that. And Jackson Merrill's living through that. He's a big reason why this is happening, but he's living through that. Imagine he could be playing for the Baltimore Orioles, which is great. There's 19,000 people there, Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah, he even dropped a "Let's fucking go San Diego" today.
I know.
Post game.
I know.
Good job, Scan. You set it up for him. That's what a great pitcher does. You just lobbed him a fat one right over the middle, and he just hit it out of the park. So good job on Scans. He knew what he was doing. I know it. I got you, Scans, and then Merrill took it home. Yeah, dude. If you're 20, you're 21-year-old. I mean, phenom. You're an all-star. You're going to win Rookie of the Year. You're becoming a face of the franchise. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple years the majority of fans wearing jerseys are Jackson Merrill's. And I mean, like, it goes to him going to the ballpark at 11:30 a.m. before anybody's there. because he's just so amped all the time. And you can do that when you're 21. When you're 31 or 33 or 34, like you're probably not doing that. But when you're 21, you have all the energy in the world to do it. You feel invincible. You really do. And for him, good on him for soaking everything up and hopefully enjoying all the moments, because he is becoming a absolute superstar here in San Diego. No doubt about it.
He really is. I mean, it's probably also for another day, but like ranking the star power of Merrill, Machado, Tatis, Bogarts, Musgrove is an interesting conversation, is what it is. It's a very interesting conversation. Like, put in the chat with the position players. How do
Like,
you rank as a fan?
as a fan,
Merrill, Machado, Tatis, Bogarts.
that's kind
Put
of
it in the
like
chat.
it's not fair after what happened today.
Well, like you just said, you thought the majority of Padres fans would be wearing his jersey within 2 years.
I think so. I think it's different, John. I think it's different when you have a homegrown guy than a free agent or a trade.
I tend to agree.
Now Joe is a little different because he's a hometown kid. So even because he threw a no-hitter, even he did get traded here, I think that helps him a lot. And he also has performed. He's an all-star and he's great. But it just is different in any sport when your team drafts the QB and he turns into Mahomes, or the team drafts Steph Curry and he turns into like a top 10 player all time, or the team drafts Derek Jeter and he turns into the captain and the Hall of Famer.
So are we saying then he's going to be the clear cut, if he stays this player for 3 years, he's the clear cut number one over Machado and Tatis because it's different?
If he does what he's doing now with the clutchness and the all-star appearances,
he's not going to 5-game Tiger go-ahead home runs each of the next 3 years, but yeah.
So say he hits 4 home runs this year, and he does that for 3 straight seasons, and he's a 3-time all-star in 3 years with a Rookie of the Year under his belt. I think so.
Okay, that's the point. That's the question. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think he has the potential star power to surpass someone like Fernando Tatis Jr. or Manny Machado sooner rather than later, which is
in
ridiculous.
This town. He does in this town.
Yeah. Well, that's honestly, that's all that anyone even cares about. Like, nobody really talks about Fernando Tatis Jr.'s relevancy in the East. Man, people talk about Manny Machado because he's polarizing. He's played for a number of teams, but I'm not overly concerned about what people think of Fernando Tatis Jr. in Kansas City or Jackson Merrill. Truthfully.
Well, they have Bobby Witt Jr., John. So
yeah, it's a great point. It's a great point. I need to go get my Mova Globe. Stand by.
Okay.
But you can talk about it.
Mova Globe. If you don't have one, what are you doing? Go buy one right now. They're amazing. They're great for your desk. They're great for your office. They're great for a bookshelf in your living room. The technology they have, it's incredible. It literally spins on its own. All it needs is light. All you need is light, and it will spin on its own. They have every single baseball team's logo for a Mova Globe. So, I met someone the other day at Trader Joe's. Shout out Sam. And for him, Mova Globe for another team, or Mova Globe for the Padres. Like, yeah, people in their chat are fans of maybe the Red Sox or maybe the Cubs, right? Like, get a Mova Globe for the Cubs, get a Mova Globe for the Astros. Well, maybe not the Astros, but you get my point. But if not, get a Padres Mova Globe.
Do they have a trash can version? Or I forgot.
They do have a trash can version. Yeah,
that'd be cool. Just spin it trash.
They do have a trash can version, but
you got to remember the promo code PWS10.
Yes, PWS10.
10% off. Click the link in the description down below. Use promo code PWS10. Like Jim said, by the way, this company founded in San Diego, the technology invented in Cardiff by the Sea here in North County. 10% off with promo code PWS10. But you're right, all 30 officially licensed major league teams available to you by clicking that link in the description down below. I feel like Mova Globes has been good luck because I think since they signed on board with the wrap-up show, the Padres have the best record in baseball. Look at
that's right.
Boom.
How you done?
Mova Globes, check them out. Click that link in the description down below. Get 10% off. Use promo code PWS10. PWS10. Great keepsake. Great birthday gift. Just great. They're Mova Globes. Come
It's
on.
great.
Who doesn't want a Mova Globe? Padres will be in St. Louis tomorrow. Have they announced Randy Vasquez? I think they have.
Oh,
Padres.com is Randy Vasquez, so I'm assuming that means they've announced it. Randy Vasquez back. Kyle Gibson for St. Louis. This is the Matt Waldron spot in the rotation that came open when he was optioned. They then needed to make a corresponding move. They've made a number of them if you've been following the last 3 or 4 days. But the move that will still have to be made potentially, I guess, is Randy Vasquez coming back up to start in St. Louis to begin a 7-game trip for the Padres. It'll be interesting to see what happens to Waldron in September. Rosters expand. I think 2 spots now under the current CBA. But it looks like it's going to be Randy Vasquez to get the first shot in Matt Waldron's spot come Monday night.
yeah. For the Padres here, I think having Randy Vasquez is nice because he's been solid for them. Like I'm not sitting here and be like, oh shit. And Schilt went for it today, knowing Randy Vasquez was starting tomorrow. Think about that. That's some confidence right there. So I'm cool with it. I like Randy Vasquez, what he's done this year, and I have faith and confidence that he can go out there and give him a solid outing.
Yeah, I tend to feel the same way. I've seen him pitch really well at times this year. There's been other outings he hasn't been as good, but here's the thing with where they are right now. This offense is good enough, although it hasn't necessarily been great over the last 10 games. I think that's fair. They're 5-5. They've had some games where they've scored 1 or 2 or less runs. But I do feel like I trust this offense specifically on the road. That's like, give me 5 innings, 3 runs, and let the offense do the rest. Like, go 5 innings, allow 3 runs. I trust the offense to score 4 or 5 runs over the course of 9 innings, especially on the road. And that's kind of like how I feel about this team. Kyle Gibson's been fine. He's got a 4.22. Randy Vasquez has been fine. He's got a 4.63. But there's something about this team on the road where it just feels like they're looser, they're freer, they're better. I mean, their record's better on the road this year. So I'm just going to trust the offense to maybe pick up Randy Vasquez if that's what's required potentially of a win tomorrow night.
The team has been better on the road all season long.
Yep.
They started the year 19 and 7 or 19 and
they were
9?
Good. Yeah.
They lost 8 in a row, but they were the best team on the road at the start of the season.
Right.
And throughout the whole year, they have been really good on the road. So I trust that they're going to, and I have faith that they're going to play well in St. Louis and in Tampa, just because they're a really good road team.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, we've talked about this schedule so much. Like, here's what's to come. The 7 we've talked about, St. Louis, Tampa. Home against Detroit and San Francisco. Okay. At Seattle, they've fallen off. That's only a 2-game series. I mean, none of it's really easy. At San Fran, home for Houston. The only quote-unquote easy is 3 against the White Sox. Then you close with Dodgers, Diamondbacks. That's what's left. That's every game that's left.
That's crazy.
That's it. 30 games. I don't know what that is. 9 series, something like that.
And yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, if there's you say gimme, you can't guarantee a sweep, but, White Sox at home, hopefully, is a sweep, which is 3 of the wins that you may need. But the other 27 games, I think, are somewhat challenging. I really do feel that way.
It's all going to be challenging.
Yeah. Other than the White Sox,
pressure
the other series are. Yeah, there is a lot of pressure.
And while the Giants, they're not going to the postseason, Seattle, Detroit, St. Louis, Tampa. I mean, they've all played decently.
They're all like 500.
They're all 500-ish. So, and you could face Webb and Snell a bunch.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
You could face Skubal here. Houston has been amazing since their horrible start. And then you finish with LA and Arizona, and they're not going to be letting up here. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a wild ride. There he is. What's up, Sam?
Thanks up, for Sam? Joining.
Yeah, Trader Joe's Sam. Saw him the other day. Trader Joe's. Talked for a bit. It was nice meeting you. And he said he would join. He watches the wrap-up show and John and Jim. So Welcome on in, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Sam. Appreciate you supporting the channel and hanging out. Really do. Oh, you know what I was going to say? They only have 12 home games left. Padres, 12 of the last 30. So 18 on the
Wow.
road. 3 against the Tigers, 3 against the Giants, 3 against the Astros, 3 against the White Sox. Good old season home finale against the Chicago White Sox, like it was meant to be for the Padres here in 2024. But that's it. 12 home games left. They're not kidding about that postseason push or whatever they're advertising, because that's it. I mean, if you want to see the Padres, you have 2 weekends to do it. You've got 2 weeks and 2 weekends essentially to do it in September.
It's nice to have like your final series of the year at home in the regular season against the shitty White Sox.
Yeah, could be nice. It could be really nice.
Could be really beneficial to you. I don't know who plays, what the schedule looks like for that weekend, but
yeah, it might be a chance to pick up a game.
yeah,
Well, you know the Dodgers play the Rockies because you've been talking about that.
yeah.
I don't know who the Diamondbacks play. Hopefully, I'm sure it's someone harder than the White Sox and the Rockies, because those are the worst teams in baseball.
Let's look here.
Unless they're facing the Marlins.
Arizona that weekend, they take on
Giants.
No, wow. They take on Milwaukee.
Oh, weird. Okay. So
they
maybe
go,
a chance to gain a game or two.
They go for 4 in Milwaukee. So they play
wow.
they play Milwaukee 7 times in September.
That's bizarre.
They play Milwaukee 7 times. They play Houston for 3 in Houston. The Dodgers series next weekend.
Yeah, they might come back to earth here.
And then they finish with the Padres at home, and they play the Giants for 3.
Look at it this way. If the Diamondbacks win the division, they are the clear World Series favorite in the National League. Because what you just said with that schedule, plus the way they've played, they'd easily be the best team in the National League heading into the postseason. Easily.
They just went, after they got swept by Tampa, they just have won 6 in a row.
Yeah, they've been amazing.
Oh,
they have a better record than the Padres somehow.
They just ran through.
Half.
They just ran through the Red Sox. I mean,
yeah,
12-2 win, 4-1, 7-5.
Their offense has been awesome.
Through them, and they're without Ketel Marte.
It's crazy.
And Jordan Montgomery sucks.
It's crazy. Caleb, appreciate you, man. Thank you guys for hanging out. 500 of you are here right now live. If you're here, please subscribe. And if you're here, smash that like button. We'd love to get to 500 likes. Follow us on X at John Schaefer at Jim Russell SD. Thank you so much for the super chats. We really do appreciate your support of the channel. Click the $ below the chat box like Caleb did. Caleb appreciates you. He says, what record do you feel we need the rest of the way? I mean, that's the interesting, I think need's an interesting word.
Need for what?
Need to get
postseason? 15 and 15, you're good.
What's the Mets record?
The Mets record, John, is
68 and 63.
Yeah.
So, okay, hear me out. If you get to 88 wins, you being the Padres, okay, that means the Mets would have to close. Now, they do have the tiebreaker, but they'd have to close 20 and what? I don't know how many games they have left. 20 and 11? That's kind of doable. I think you got to get to, I think you got to go 15 and 15. If you go 15 and 15, the Mets got to go 21 and 10 or better to catch you, which isn't going to be easy, obviously. I think 15 and 15, you're clearly in.
First or second seed. So, like, basically division and the best record in the National League.
Ooh, well, a lot better than that.
You need to go
in the division. You got to go 20 and 10 at least.
Minimum 20 and 10.
Got to go 20 and 10 because of Arizona and LA. That honestly might not be good enough. If I was guessing, it's probably not. Because you're 4.5 behind the you're 4.5 behind the Dodgers, which means you go 20 and 10. They go 16 and 14. They're ahead of you under that math. So to win the division, now that we're let's get to brass taxes here. You got to go like 23 and 7,
22 and 8.
Yeah,
you get 20.
It's not a guarantee.
Yeah, 22 and 8. That's 96 wins.
That's crazy.
That might not even get you the division. That might still get you the 4 seed or the 5 seed.
And I've been saying that. I've been saying it's going to take 95 wins to get to the division. So yeah, I don't think there's any path to the division without 95 wins. There's just not with Arizona and LA. I'd be very surprised if it took less than 95.
Yeah, you're going to need help. Like I don't see it that you're going to outplay them if all things are equal here. Like you're going to need the Dodgers and Arizona to both stumble here.
Dodgers go 16 and 15. They have 94 wins.
Okay.
So it's, again, is it
Tough.
impossible? No. Is it likely? Absolutely not. It's unlikely at this point. They have
It's
3 against
wild,
LA,
dude.
you know?
With the balanced schedule to have 3 teams in one division be this good,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. They
This
could
would
all win
never
90.
happen. This would never happen in a unbalanced,
Yeah, not if you played each other
year.
19 times each.
No, because you'd be playing the Diamondbacks and Dodgers like 7 times in September each, and then the Rockies for another 6, and then they'd play the same type of schedule. Like, yeah, not happening.
By the way, the top record now in the National League is LA, which isn't shocking. Second best record in the National League is Philadelphia, and then by a game, they're better than Milwaukee. So you're right. I mean, you could go 21-9, 22-8 to finish, and you're the 4 seed. You could be the 5 seed. I don't think it happens because Arizona's not going to keep this up. If you go 22-8, you're going through Arizona. You're going through LA.
Right.
So that's what you would think would happen.
I mean, I would hope. I mean, you're a game and a half back of Arizona, and they just are not letting up.
Like you just read in there's no way. There's no way you go 22-8 and they go 22-8 or 21-9. Not with that schedule. Something's going to give, so to speak. It's either going to be San Diego give something back, Arizona give something back, or LA give something back. They're not all going to close playing 700 baseball over the final month. Mark my words. It's not going to happen. So hopefully San Diego does, and 1 or 2 of those teams fall off over the final 30 plus games of the season. That's how I see it. And by the way, one thing that still works to the advantage of the Padres is off days, because a lot of teams still have 31 or 32 games remaining. They have 30. Yeah. So there's an additional off day, if not more, in there for the Padres that a team like, I don't know, Arizona doesn't enjoy.
And you're going to need on those off days, if you have any chance of winning the division, on those off days, you're going to need Diamondbacks and Dodgers to lose on those off days. Like those half games, because you can't do anything. You just sit there.
Right.
So you're going to need them to lose those days when you don't have a chance to match them.
Stonehenge, planets, aliens, and why the off day in the middle of the Detroit series. Things we'll never know the answers to.
Because I saw someone in our chat said that the new CBA doesn't allow more than 20 games in a row, and that's only 18 games in a row.
But does it impact? But maybe the Tigers have played not 20 in a row into that day.
What you need to do, and we need to do this, we need to remember to ask Kevin this week that question.
Does he know?
I hope he knows.
I mean, I might text him and be like, yo, can you get an answer on this?
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, it's very weird. I think it has something to do with the CBA. I really do, but I don't know. Because I think Detroit, maybe. I haven't looked, but I think someone said Detroit is an off day coming into it. I don't know.
Well, it's Labor Day, and then they play on Labor Day, and then the following day they have an off day.
It makes 0 sense. Now I'm going to the Tigers schedule as if I care.
It's not Labor Day, Iron Swan, because they play on Labor Day. I mean, does everyone have an off day on that Tuesday?
No, not everyone has an off day on that Tuesday.
Yeah, no. Arizona plays on that Tuesday against the Giants.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Detroit has no off days here. No, but yeah, they haven't. Okay, that Tuesday off day is after like 13 straight for them or 14 straight, but not 20. Super weird.
Super weird, bro.
Super weird. By it. I've been talking about it for weeks. JD Gotcha, what's up, man? Appreciate you. He says Dodgers rotation past Stone and Flaherty are question marks. Well, I mean, is Yamamoto coming back? Is Kershaw going to be of impact in the postseason? But this is fair. I think there's some question marks with the Padres rotation. You know, is Musgrove going to stay healthy? Is Darvish going to return? But yeah, I mean, this is done in the Dodgers the last 2 years, has it not? I thought the Padres had a better rotation in 2022. I think it turned out to be the case. I think in 2023, Arizona completely outpitched LA. So that's been the Dodgers' bugaboo heading into the postseason. Not enough starting pitching. Although you did see Otani has started to pitch. He's thrown off a mound, which is quasi-scary if he returns.
Oh, no big deal. He's just going to close out postseason games for the Dodgers.
Right. After his 50-50 season.
God.
So annoying.
I hate Otani.
Did you hear that, Yahoo Japan?
Yeah, I said it. I don't care. 40-40.
Do you feel like he's overrated?
What do you think? There hasn't been a 40-40 guy in the history of baseball? Give me a break. Every single tweet from Major League Baseball's Twitter account was about Shohei Otani the other day. Like, give me a break. What? He's a DH. Cool. It's great. He's not pitching. He's not throwing. He's just hitting a baseball. Cool. 40-40. How many 40-40 DH has there been? I mean, stop. I mean, what are we talking about here? I mean, to me, guess what? Here's what. Anybody that says that Shohei Otani is the best baseball player in baseball, you're out of your mind, because Aaron Judge would like to talk to you. Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball right now. Shohei Otani's not. He's probably not even the second best player in baseball, truthfully. Probably not even the third best player in baseball. Maybe top 5. But he's not the best player in baseball. No. How many of those stolen bases, by the way, do you think were just like
There's never been a DH to steal 40 bases in the history of baseball. I promise you that, by the way.
Well, what I meant was just like regular like players. Like how many players have gone 40-40?
Good question. Not
probably a good amount. It's not like Otani's the first to do it ever.
Right. There's not a ton, though, are there?
Hey, in Major League Baseball, get off your knees. Stop glazing Otani every chance you get. It's ridiculous.
God. All right, Acuna did it last year. Soriano in 06.
Exactly my point. Acuna just did it. And by the way, he did it better than Otani because he had 70+ stolen bases and almost 50 home runs. And he had a better average than Otani has this year. And where was all the like amazing how great this guy is last year with Acuna? But Otani does it, and it's like, oh, bow down. Give me a break.
Also, the rules have changed to benefit base running, obviously. You can't throw over and the bases are bigger. So that helps. But there's only 6 guys ever, I think. A-Rod, 98. How the hell did Barry Bonds do it?
Because Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. And Barry Bonds was 10 times better player than Shohei Otani will ever be. Yeah, I said it. Oh, great. Otani had 2 amazing years as a pitcher. Okay.
Are you me?
No, I just can't stand Otani. I can't stand him. I can't. And a lot to do with him being on the Dodgers, but I don't fade me with the Otani bullshit.
Canseco. There's your list. Canseco, Bonds, A-Rod. You know what these guys all have in common?
They all took steroids.
They're all freaking cheaters, is what they are.
Well, I mean, Otani. I mean, you could.
That's that.
Just kidding on that one. But still, I mean, give me a break.
Don't tag the Otani fan club. I promise. Don't do that, folks. Don't screen
grab
that.
Thing. I don't give a shit. John, you'd crumble. I literally don't care.
You hope this ends up on Yahoo Japan so bad.
He's a great player, but he's not like the end all be all to baseball. To me, it's not even discussion. Like, it would be a discussion if he was pitching. He's not pitching, and we don't know if he ever is going to be pitching like he did ever again. So with that, there is no way in hell Otani should ever be considered the greatest player ever to play the game if he's not pitching.
I don't have any, no comment. No comment, because I don't know what's going to happen here in 2024. Merrill might be World Series MVP. Otani might be. Like, I don't know. So I don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen over the next 2 months. By the way, this is fascinating from Derek. And do you want to continue ripping into Otani? I'm here for it. If you want, we can wait a minute.
No, I'm good.
There's nothing else you want to say?
No, I'm good.
I talked you off. I talked some sense into you. Derek, thank you, man, for the generous super. This is fascinating. This may answer the question. It's like a puzzle. 20-game CBA limit under the new rules. They're playing 18 and 18, right? So, and they've got San Francisco right after Detroit. If they don't take a break Monday or Tuesday, then they hit 20. So if the limit is 20, does that mean you can't play more than 19? Therefore, they have to break after 18 or 19 to avoid 20.
Wow, that makes sense.
And that makes sense because you'd rather probably take a Tuesday off than a Wednesday off, and Monday's Labor Day. So you're not going to take it off.
That makes sense.
They have a series following. It's
I think we fixed Derek. You've just cracked the code.
But I've been talking about that CBA. I knew it had to do with the CBA. I just didn't know why that specific day.
Well, this makes a lot of sense now. I get it.
Emojis.
Wow.
Derek. That's amazing. That's incredible work. I feel like I just watched like Unsolved Mysteries.
We just
new episodes.
We just cracked the code thanks to Derek.
There was did you watch that? Serious question. Have you watched it on Netflix with Aaron?
What?
The new Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix?
Which one? The Lacey Pearson one?
No. There's the show Unsolved Mysteries, or are you too young for this?
No, I know the show. Is there a new one on Netflix?
It's back. It's back on Netflix. Some fascinating cases on there.
Wow. The Yakuza would like a word with Jim.
The Yakuza would like a word with you, Jim? Okay.
Look, Otani's a great player, but he's not the best player of all time, which some people think that he is. And the glazing from Major League Baseball for Otani is ridiculous. Like, he's a hitter. He's doing the exact same thing as Ronald Acuna did last year. And Ronald Acuna was better last year than Shohei is this year. So, like, why or what's going on here?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Have you seen Shohei Otani? He's an international superstar.
That's
Ronald
great.
Acuna isn't.
Okay.
He's a marketing vehicle for Major League Baseball.
I'm talking about numbers, John. And
his numbers are pretty good. I went down this path previously. Otani's numbers are pretty good.
They're very great.
They're really good.
But he's not the greatest player to ever walk on a baseball field, is my point.
Yeah, no, it's probably accurate. Yeah, at this point.
So, sorry.
This is great.
And this also, so and by the way, a lot of this comes from I absolutely fucking despise the Dodgers. So that plays a factor.
So would you be saying this if he's on the Padres? You'd be like, this guy's not the best player.
No, he's the greatest player in the history of baseball. If he's on the Padres or at any other team.
Nice.
Dodgers, eat shit.
Oh, man. Let's get to this from Richard. Richard, thank you, man. He says, hey,
I know
Jim,
he is Richard. Okay. I
love
know.
you, brother. But your Otani and Dodger rents are worth the price of admission. God bless you, brother.
It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, your points aren't that far off. I think there's probably other people that don't think he's the best player in the sport right now. He's probably a top couple player in the sport.
Who would you take over Otani?
I mean, betting on the now or the future, because is he going to pitch again?
Just right now.
Maybe Judge, maybe Soto, based on how they've played this year. Is there another candidate in there? Seriously, is there another candidate we're missing in there?
Yeah, Bobby Witt Jr.
Nobody's taking Bobby Witt Jr. over Shohei Otani, you moron.
I know.
Now, are people taking Aaron Judge over him this year? Sure, I get it. He's going to hit 60-something home runs. Juan Soto's got his 1,100 OPS.
About Marcell Ozuna.
Stop.
I'm just kidding.
Stop.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, all right. Well, let's talk more about it in a moment. I do want to remind, though, our viewers about our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Guys, sign up for Underdog right now and get their best deposit match ever, up to $1,000. A 50% deposit match up to $1,000. Use promo code PADSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. New customers deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. NFL Week 1 is less than 2 weeks away. Use promo code PADSWRAP. By the way, you get this free pick as well if you sign up with promo code PADSWRAP. Will Travis Kelce have more than a half yard in the opener for the Chiefs a week from Thursday? The answer is yes. So you get the free pick. You get the up to $1,000 in bonus cash. All you got to do is go to Underdog Fantasy, click the link in the description down below, scan that QR code, use promo code PADSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. Look at these sexy graphics. You get NFL Week 1 discounts too. What are you waiting for? Padres Pick'ems going on right now. Promo code PADSWRAP, PADSWRAP. You could be making a lot of money right now, Jim, on the Padres.
Yeah, I know. I make money every day on the Padres.
That's great. I really appreciate your support of Underdog there. Callan, thank you. You want to know why our Underdog deals end every 3 weeks. Callan, thank you for your support of the channel. He says, great to see agents or you, gents. Hope all is well with you both. Thank you, my friend. Merrill's Rookie of the Year. Ariel Epstein can kick rocks for saying Skeens wins it because of his girlfriend. Did she say that? Isn't she like the betting analyst? I don't think Skeens is going to win it because of whatever her name is.
Livy Dunn?
Right. No, that's not going to be the reason he wins it. I promise. Voters are way too highbrow to even allow that to happen. They don't even know who she is. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Bobby Witt Jr., okay. If you're not respecting what Bobby Witt Jr. is doing this year, then
he's not better than Shohei Otani, Jim.
He's in 347 with a 1,007 OPS, 93 RBIs on the year, 26 homers, 26 stolen bases.
Great. Maybe you missed the 40 home runs and the 40 stolen bases for a team that's got a better record.
Bobby Witt is going to probably take his team to the postseason right now if the fucking Guardians don't step it up.
So you're going to draft your team with Bobby Witt over Shohei Otani, and you're gonna lose your job as GM.
He's younger. He's 24.
True, that is true. But does he pitch?
Here we go. How about this? I get the first pick. You get the second pick. I'll have a better team than you. Guarantee it.
Why? You get one pick and I get one pick? That makes no sense.
What'd I say? Oh, you get the first. No.
You're going to take Witt and like Judge, and I'm going to take Soto and Otani, and I'm going to say my team's just as good as yours.
Right. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Listen, Witt's been great, but Witt hasn't put together 3 years like Otani has.
I know.
And you are always saying that because
basically what I'm getting to is I can't stand Major League Baseball. I'll go to their Twitter account right now. All right. Let's see how many fucking Shohei Otani tweets they have on there. All right.
There's a lot.
Did he do anything today? When he does something, it's like it's all.
Didn't he get hurt?
Oh yeah, he got hit in the wrist. I think.
Like left the game.
Yeah, there's a couple Padres ones. Mookie Magic. Yeah, yesterday it was just Otani.
How much is the 40-40 ball worth?
Well, I know one thing. He won't go talk to the fan if the fan wants to go talk to him.
Yeah, last time he like bailed on that, right?
Yeah, he's too good for that. Am I just digging my hole deeper and deeper?
I don't know.
Maybe. I could care less. I know he's a great player. I could care less. Sorry.
Maestro, thank you for the super. He says, great atmosphere in the stadium today, no doubt. What do the Padres need to keep up that's intangible to keep the success rolling? Just keep doing what they're doing, right? I mean, they've got this like ability to overcome deficits late in games. Like they're never out of games. So like just keep being you, I would say. I don't think they need to do anything other than be themselves, truthfully. We're so late into the year. They've played 80% of their games. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, just keep playing your brand of
Believing.
baseball and not really worrying about anybody else but yourself. And that's what they're doing. And they just go there. They never quit. They always fight. And grit squad, like they're just going to continue to battle and never give up. Just go out
Yeah.
there and just continue to do what they're doing.
Completely. Thank you, Maestro. Derek, appreciate you, man. Appreciate your support of the channel. He says, I've been pondering this question a lot. Do you prefer Arizona and Dodgers split in their 4-game series, or would you prefer a sweep from either? I've thought about this a lot. Now, I was told this, Derek. I was told you can't root for the Dodgers. Even if it benefits the Padres, you can't root for the Dodgers, even if it benefits the Padres. So because of that, you have only 2 options based on that. You can root for a split, or you can root for an Arizona sweep, but you can't root for anything better than that for the Dodgers, like 3-1 or better.
Right.
Even though 3 losses from Arizona could propel the Padres ahead of Arizona in the wild card race.
Right. Yeah, it just feels nasty just saying.
I agree with that.
The only time the
season's on the line, the division's on the line.
Yeah, the only time you root for the Dodgers if they're below you and they're facing a team that you need to lose to benefit you to win.
Yeah. With 3 to play, if you need them to beat someone twice, then I would root for that 100%.
Right. That's it. That's the only scenario.
Yep. But it's all I guess. So yeah, I guess root for Arizona based on that theory. I'm rooting for a split. I'm with you, Derek. I think I'm rooting for a split. But you could argue it either way, truthfully. If you take the fandom out of it, you could argue it either way. Alicia, appreciate the super chat, maybe the super sticker.
You.
Appreciate your support of the channel. Keith, thank you. Keith says, Tatis has to perform. I'm sick of excuses. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
You should change the word to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Tatis needs to stay healthy.
Yeah, I don't know about excuses. He has a higher OPS than Jackson Merrill this year. So just stay healthy. I think he's got an OPS much higher than Jackson Merrill. I think it's in the 840s, maybe. I'm making it up. I don't have it in front of me.
It's like 840-ish.
But yeah, that's good. And Jackson Merrill's 807. Callan, thanks, dude. He says, Epstein said that Skeens would win Rookie of the Year because of his girlfriend, Russell Dorsey, and Ryan Roland Smith absolutely shredded her take. It was beyond comical. Yeah, it's a dumb take.
It's a dumb take.
Yeah. Has he been marketed because of Livy Dunn a little bit? Maybe, but he's good. His success speaks for itself. He doesn't need Livy Dunn to be successful.
Like, the thing that Paul Skeens has is Livy Dunn. Hold on. Livy Dunn right now has 8 million followers on TikTok,
which is more than the Padres by like 4 times.
Yeah. And she puts out a TikTok video of her dressing up like Paul Skeens, and it gets 4 million views.
That's hilarious.
You know, I mean, that's what Paul Skeens right now has over Jackson Merrill, is that his brand awareness is bigger than his because of Livy Dunn. But voters aren't going to vote based off of that. They're going to vote off of the credentials on the field. Paul Skeens is great. Jackson Merrill deserves and has earned Rookie of the Year.
Right. I don't think Jason Stark is, voting for someone based on Livy Dunn.
Right. Like, oh man, he's dating Livy Dunn. Give him the Rookie of the Year.
It seems kind of ridiculous.
Could you imagine Jason Stark sitting there, or like, who's that?
Tim Kirkjian.
Tim Kirkjian, like, fucking. Oh my god.
So ridiculous. All right, let's do this again tomorrow. Join us tomorrow at 3:00. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app. That's what I'm doing. Listen on the app. If you want, find us on YouTube. The audio may work. If I was a betting man, I don't think it'll be perfect, but listen on the app. Listen on San Diego Sports 760. Find us on YouTube. Where the audio does work is on the wrap-up show. So join us tomorrow night following Padres-Cardinals game 1. We'll be on the air at 9:30. But again, John and Jim, we'll get you ready beginning at 3 p.m. Find us on YouTube. Find us on the free iHeartRadio app. Find us on San Diego Sports 760. Please, if you haven't subscribed, now is the time to do it. Year-round content for Padres fans. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. If you're here on replay, thank you for the super thanks. I see Mark in the chat right now. Mark Nimitz, title sponsor, the GOAT. He's been with us since day one. Please support Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. If you have an insurance need, you know where to go. Call him, get in contact with him. Click the link in the description down below. He's going to save you money. He's a great insurance agent. Mova Globes, we've told you about him all season long or the last couple of months. Let me pull one up. Boom. Grab these while they're available. Use promo code PWS10 and Underdog Fantasy, best offer ever, up to $1,000 in bonus cash if you use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADS. WRAP. We'll see you tomorrow on John and Jim at 3 p.m. San Diego Sports 760, free iHeartRadio app, and YouTube. For Jim, I'm John. This has been the Wrap Up Show.